Here is how to spread your FreeGuides experience. Congratulations on creating your first major hit experience on FreeGuides. You've done all the research, taken all the steps in customizing your experience. Your photos look immaculate and you've even had a few people join your experience. But I guess you're wondering, how do I get more people to try out my experience? Yes, you're already a highly rated guide on the app. And as soon as people search up your experiences, yours is near the top. But how do you encourage more people to join your experience who don't have the app already downloaded? Well, today we're going to provide you with 3 steps that should let you better market yourself to others, both offline and online. Hopefully, once you implement any of the steps, you'll see a spike in people joining your experience and some extra money in your pockets. Before we start, I would like to remind you that every experience you create has a unique identifier on our FreeGuides app. This means that you are able to send anyone your link and they can access that experience. Alright, so our number 1 tip is to be a social media whiz. It should come to no surprise that social media now dominates every facet of our lives. People are on their phones more and more. And when they're not on the phones checking out the latest pic from their friends or browsing the latest dances on TikTok, they're on their computers doing the exact same thing. Your reach will improve vastly when highlighting your experiences in either Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok posts. Now, we're not saying you have to develop a full social media strategy, such as choosing the right time to post or comparing word choices to get the most out of your posts, but we are encouraging you to share your experiences in a simple post. Simple lines like, check out this new experience I created, or are you looking for something fun to do this weekend? Go a long way in promoting not just your experience, but you as a guide yourself. Just a quick note, and that is not to spam your socials too much. If there's one thing people hate, that is seeing too many of the same posts over and over again. A sales script should leave ample time for your prospect to ask questions, share comments, and generally be heard. Make your experience a treat, both in the content and your social media campaign about it. Oh, and don't forget to tag us in your posts. We'll be sure to share them around our social media platforms to lend you a helping hand. Our tip number 2 is word of mouth. There's no school like the old school. One thing that I found most people underestimate is the scope of their own personal network. Now, I know what you're thinking. As soon as you see the word network or hear the word networking, your skin crawls just as much as mine. But you don't think that every conversation in a networking sense has to be a stiff affair with a suit and tie. Just telling your friends and family about your new experience that you've created is a great way to increase the number of explorers. What may also surprise you is how deep your network is. If you can imagine that every person you tell about your experience tells 3 or 4 people, they'll see the numbers of skyrocket faster than you would have first thought. For tips about spreading your experience through word of mouth, I would make sure the conversations you have with people aren't too formal and you introduce your concepts from a methodology called relational meetings. Relational meetings involve casual chatter and small talk between people in order to improve relationships with them. Once you've developed the conversation into more than just a mode to deliver your experience, you can naturally segue into talking to them about your experience. And I can't stress this enough, but don't undervalue the breadth of network. You know more people than you think, and so do your friends. Our tip number 3 is that influence is everything. With greater challenge normally becomes greater reward. With number 3, we find the possibility to see the greatest reach with your experiences, while simultaneously being the hardest to pull off. Getting influencers, whether you regard them as typical social media influencers or just respected members of various fields, can be difficult. They are concerned with their personal brand and are therefore unlikely to promote an experience that does not resonate with them. But if you are able to bring them on board and have them promote your work, you will see the largest spike in explorers participating in your experience. First, you should identify the influencers who most resonate with your experience, and then reach out through social media or email address. You may need to offer in exchange for services or monetary compensation. But if you're able to pull it off, you will be able to hop onto an already established community and rapidly expand not just the number of explorers keen to try experience, but many new people